How dare you?
Ah, because we dare. We always dare to come back and stream. Yes, we do. Big welcome back to all of our returning viewers today. Feels like we're getting the band back together. Yes, the family is getting closer at this time. And I've got some weirdness to go over today before we head on over to the live KBS show on TFR Live. But wait till you see some of the glitches in the Matrix that I have for us to look at today. There'll be lots of chatting, lots of chilling, lots of coffee, lots of PPP, and lots of...
How dare you?
There we go. We're back. We're live. We have the big black box today. Right about there. Yeah, I'm censoring my own stream, folks. Everyone's getting censored these days, so I'm going to censor myself. And, no, my son has got his beloved Man United playing tonight. So, yeah, gotta get your priorities in order, right? So, if people are wondering why there's a big black box on my camera, that's all it is. There's no mystery. I could have made it all mysterious and kind of woo and built it up, but nah, no need for it. And a lot of returning people onto the stream today. A lot of names I haven't seen for some time. We've got Bearded. I've seen him right at the very start. I think he was first in there. Great to see you back, Bearded. Understand you weren't keeping too well at all. Out of hospital now. Good news, brother. It's great to have you back. We've also got Mama Shaibul in there as well. It's been a right while since we've seen Mama, and it's a big shout out to you as well. Nanny, Puff Puff, wondering where her wrench is. Now, this is a different channel, maybe for some of you to be coming on to now. So we've got to catch up with wrenches and all that kind of good stuff. So it's just absolutely amazing to see you all back here. Like I said in opening, it's like putting the band back together. And Superchat coming in now. Mannerous as well. A big shout out to you, brother, and to everyone who has supported the stream. We've got Edward, Karen, many others as well via PayPal. And I say many others because I don't know who wants their name read out and who doesn't. All of our Patreons as well. Big thank you to you. And there's Brian.
Here is my way to say thank you for all you do. Smiley face.
Brother, Mannerous, our man from Canada. No, I thank you. I thank all of you for being here. It's absolutely brilliant to come back online and chill out before the show again. Yesterday, I had a nice quiet day. Sometimes, like I've explained before, you feel it all catching up, and you got to learn to listen to your body, and you have to pay attention to it and heed what it's telling you. And when my body tells me, Baker, time to take a sleep, chill out, have a day off, then it's exactly what I'm going to do. It's what I tell all of you to do all the time as well when you're feeling stressed, when you start to feel agitated, when you're going to your usual websites or in particular social media. Don't try and persevere through it, just come off it. Just take a break. And funnily enough, when I came back to the computer yesterday to do the main show, guess what? Everything was exactly in the same place in the world as it was when I left it. So you don't miss much. You really don't. So it's great to have you all here for this. I'll be going on to the main show afterwards. And like I said in the title here, just some stories that got the stream going today. And what I mean by that is I kind of had an idea after seeing one of the headlines, and it's going to be one of the first ones we look at. It's some super weirdness. But it got me thinking about glitches in the Matrix. So I started to take a little look around. And wow, the Matrix was getting a little bit glitchy for yours truly here. Let's just say that. And there's some real weirdness out there when it comes to glitches in our reality. Glitches in the Matrix, Ghost in the Machine, Mandela's, lots of different ways of pointing out that there's something just a little bit weird going on at this time. There's Anne bimbling about in the background, yes, a big hand. Not the shoe that she's got. And we've got Karen as well now in our little emoji rogues gallery. Now, I get it. I need to spread them out a little bit better. But we'll get there. We'll definitely get there. And then tomorrow night on the main Kev Baker show, we have got Kevin McCairn, before I forget, our neurologist friend. Yes, so he's going to be coming on to the show tomorrow night. That's going to be really good. But yeah, these glitches, it led to me almost having a glitchy experience in the Matrix, trying to get you information for the show. And the amount of information that's out there about the weirdness in our reality, it's it can't be ignored. I don't know. You know me, I like the woo anyway. So it appeals to me, the weirdness. I like a weird factor. Weird guy, weird stuff. I like it. But before we get to the glitches, a big shout out to Jason, first paranormal. I'm not sure if he's here today. He is. Jason, I see you in there. And big shout out to him because he has got his 400 subscribers. Yes, indeed. So congratulations to you, brother. And big thank you to all of the audience here who have gone over and subbed to Jason. And it's another one of our good friends we're going to take a quick look at today. And I'm glad he's made a return to the place because he had been missing for a little while. And it's work. You know, sometimes that takes priorities, and I understand that. And because this next person, because he had kind of been such a big part of the chat over on Discord and phoning into the show as well, when Algorithm kind of wasn't in the chat for a couple of days, I was thinking, oh no, what have I done to offend him? But luckily, it's nothing I've done. He's back with us now, but I don't think we've ever taken a look at Algorithm's YouTube channel before. Guess what? It is absolutely brilliant. Here we go. Algorithm. Brilliant name to start with. Lot of stuff on here. Destroying a generation with lies. Must stop now. What is this? Bat crazy world for sure. Yeah. Situation is fluid. Looking back to see the future. My advice would be, and I'm gonna ring the bell there. There we go. Hopefully that'll get me a notification. I've turned my notifications on my phone. It's an absolute nightmare. It never stops going off. And yeah, please check out this channel. I'm going to post it in the chat room. Oh, well, I just lost the chat. Hang on then. What happened there? Am I even live anymore? Are we live? Are we live? Yes, we're live. Okay. Well, that was bizarre. You see, when you go to talk about glitches in the Matrix, everything goes a little bit glitchy. The live stream page that you see on the back end of YouTube totally closed down. The chat room disappeared as well. For one moment, I thought we'd been kicked off our own live stream. Hey, there's been a lot of YouTube channels disappearing over the past couple of days. I'll be doing a show about that sometime soon. We need to talk about that. You know, doesn't matter if you strongly agree or strongly disagree with people. To see them being deplatformed and lose their ability to speak their opinions, a very dangerous time indeed. And yeah, well, I'm going to be doing a show on that. I'm probably going to get in to talk about it. But today we're going to get into the glitches. But please check out Algo's channel. We try and promote at least one of his, you know, most streams. And today, I've been meaning to do it for a while, but I had to get Algo to send me the link to his. This really is, this is a bizarre day. We've got Cheryl in the chat room as well. And Cheryl is somebody that I have known via social media and the show for years. Wow. I tell you what, they're all coming back today. Blue Days. Edward's in there as well. Good to see you, brother. Good to see you. Wow, Copperhead Viper Mad. Like the name. I think we've got our friend Amplex in there as well. I got your name right today, man. Remember to check out Amplex on YouTube. Over 300,000 subscribers. And already he's inspiring a new form of title for the channel. And it's working. I love it. But yeah, hit that thumbs up as ZX is saying, folks. And I think we're about ready to get into it. Do you think? Since I do have a show to do in an hour and a half, and Anne's sitting looking at me as if to say, yeah, Kev, you know, you really want to get on with this. It's how we roll around here. We take it easy. We take it slow. We lose our cup of coffee. We find it again. I literally lost my cup of coffee, and I know it's bizarre. It's weird. But the first thing I want us to take as a look at, or want us to take a look at today, and it certainly had me scratching my head. And it's a good way to kick off our glitches in the Matrix chat that we're about to have here today. What does it mean? Strung together, all in all the kind of stories I've got here, absolutely nothing. I'm not going to save the world today. I'm not going to be saving any children. I'm not going to be revealing the name of the Antichrist. There's going to be absolutely no headline-grabbing news here today. So I want to get that clear right off the bat, you know. It's just a chill stream. I'll tell you what, we've got some good stuff to chill with. Check out this here. Of course, YouTube crashed. There we go.
Looks like it's just hovering. Looks like a big one as well.
Now you see the plane in the middle there? You can see my, yeah, you can. See it in there? Okay. Just watch it. Now, I'm quite convinced this is an optical illusion. However,
Look at it for real.
It's damn weird.
I almost want to stop on the side of the road so you can see.
now folks, I get it. I'm not losing my mind, okay? The guy's traveling in one direction. Let's just say, for example, 60 miles per hour, all right? The plane is coming in the opposite direction at whatever speed a plane comes in to land at, because it's obviously just coming in on an approach. Shouldn't be that high, right? So you've got that whole kind of depth perception thing going on. But also, if you watch his video here, it's almost like he's going round a corner as well.
Looks like a big one as well.
See the corner up ahead here? So the fact that he's going round a really gradual bend and filming something that's travelling at speed while he's going in a kind of arced speed around it, it's all crazy optical illusion, I think. And we can look at the headlines and find out that since June the 14th, when this was posted, we didn't hear of any plane either taking off and disappearing, or a rogue plane that just appeared and didn't land. It just is what it is. It's pretty cool. It's not in any way me debunking anything. I'm just saying my theory on why we're getting this almost hovering effect.
Look at it, for real. Looks like it's just kind of hovering there. It's wild. I almost want to stop on the side of the road so you can see.
That's pretty dang bizarre though, right? Because I see what he's saying. It does look like it's hovering. But I would say that's just optical illusion, as opposed to a plane not being there, then appearing and disappearing again. Now that would be a bona fide kind of a genuine glitch in the Matrix. Now this is still pretty cool in my opinion. It's like it's just a glitch in how we perceive things. Like I say, the optical illusion. But that's not the only thing that had me scratching my head today when I went looking for news. Because if this doesn't look like something utterly bizarre, then I don't know what does. Check that out. Now, when I seen that, my first thought was utter shenanigans. Total shenanigans, right? Totally. It says here images of bizarre bright painted fish go viral. Obviously that goes viral. It's ludicrous. Look at the state of it. Guys have obviously gone out there and painted fish. Only they haven't. What if I was to tell you that's a known species of fish that is not only in the Pacific, where I would expect to find it in warm waters, but it also is in the Atlantic as well? Now I get it. There's a bajillion different types of fish out there, and we see some horrendously scary looking things at the bottom of the ocean. You ever seen those kind of things with lights hanging off their heads? There's a whole host of weird looking beasties. This is why I want to do a world's strangest creatures kind of series of videos. I've got a whole lot of ideas for pre-recorded, edited videos, and this is going to be one of them. But I swear, as you're going to find out, this is a fish, a known species of fish. So the team behind a Japanese fishing YouTube channel recently posted up images of their latest peculiar catch. Looking more like something out of a cartoon or a video, a video game, sorry, than an actual real life animal. This incredible bright blue, green and pink fish was caught last week by the folks over at Fishing Gang Azusa, a Japanese fishing channel that has been running for about 3 years. And when I read that, I'm thinking, oh, they've definitely conned this up. He's at it. They're well conning it. He's even got the face covered. You know, maybe he's just been really, really conscientious and he wears his face mask. You get it, right? You've all heard the song. But, no, I was wrong. Because it says the unique catch soon attracted a lot of attention after the team posted up images of it on Twitter. Skeptics questioning the authenticity of the pictures soon changed their tune after being redirected to the original video, which shows the fish being caught, reeled in, and released back into the sea. It turns out that the fish, far from being fake, is a very real species known as a surge wrasse, or Thalassoma purpureum, which can be found in waters off the Atlantic or the Pacific. In the end of the day, when you look like that, it doesn't matter what anyone calls you. Everyone knows what you are, right? Doesn't matter if you've got a crazy old Latin name that I can't pronounce. But while not a typical target of commercial fishing, it has proven a popular inclusion in aquariums. Well, you see, I have never seen anything like that. Now, AJ McCannon says, look up a peacock bass. They were accidentally introduced over here and they are awesome and very colourful. Since you asked really nicely, we'll do that. Peacock bass. Let's have a look here. Images. Oh, dang, they are pretty colourful, dude. Yep, they're a weird looking thing. You see, that there, that needs hitting with a shoe. Immediately, the minute you see that looking out the water at you, you grab your shoe and you throw it at it. I know, but if you get into a fight with that, it might end not good. Not good at all. Exactly, Spooky Andy. What are we looking at? This makes me think of that time when I was all going to take you fishing. I thought I had a brilliant idea. We'll go fishing. It's like a fishing simulating game. But I played it for a couple of hours and I thought, you know, this is only fun when you're playing it. It would be even more boring than watching real fishing. Real fishing's cool if you're fishing, but not if you're watching people fishing, right? Well, it's even worse if you're watching me playing it on the computer, trust me. But yeah, weirdness. So that's the weird fish that, again, maybe you knew this was a fish, that there was a fish that looked like that. To me, I thought, what on earth's happening? One of my first thoughts was, you know, now the simulation's literally like now starting to look like a computer game. You know, up until this point, reality's been pretty solid and it is what it is. But, you know, the more we find out, the more we learn from science, the more secrets that artificial will unlock along the way as well, expanding our knowledge, the more it starts to look like we are in some kind of simulation. That's my opinion. Doesn't take away from God or anything else. Just different language for things. The programmer, call it that. The architect out the matrix. Call it what you will. You know, but that for me was definitely a no-no. But again, it turns out it's real. So I thought to myself, glitches in the matrix. If I was to type that into Google, surely like I wouldn't get a full, weird, bizarre, crazy story with exactly that title that was in the New Yorker earlier this month. Or would I? This here is probably one of the most bizarre pieces of writing that I've read through. But I think it is so apt for the times that we are living in. Yes, here we go. So it says, new glitches in the Matrix. Now, I don't know if this is somebody's real day or if this is somebody's creative mind really over-egging what are kind of glitches we experience some of the time, more of the time, the more we go forward in time. And I even confused myself from time to time during that because I said the word time too many times. So we'll go to the glitch in the Matrix, right? But ZX in the chat room, he's been having glitches lately. He's been having the number glitches. 1111. You know, when you get that recurring numbers, you get that whole thing going on. That there's a glitch in the Matrix. You know, deja vus. That's a little glitch in the Matrix. The Mandelas. Seriously, big flaw in the simulation. And this here. Hold on to your heads, because this gets bizarre really quickly. Okay? While cleaning your dirty clothes, you are haunted by the sensation of having cleaned all the same clothes before. Perhaps infinite times. You finally decide to go running and jog a grueling 5 miles. But Map My Run only logs half a mile. Strange. Your child has reached a new tantrum frequency rate of 1 tantrum per minute, yet each tantrum is approximately 20 minutes long. The math? It doesn't add up. You awake in a cold sweat at 2 a.m., remembering the time you said Owen Wilson when you meant to say Wilfred Owen. Before you know it, morning has arrived. No matter how often you hit the thumbs down icon, Red Hot Chili Peppers songs keep popping up on your Tina Turner Spotify station. Having finished peeing, you now have to go pee again. Hey, pee pee. Is there going to be another pee in there after this story, ladies and gents? There will. You're still just sitting there on the toilet, staring at your phone, so that's fine. It's Wednesday. But last week, also Wednesday. You're still washing your hands when becomes time to wash your hands again. You awake in a cold sweat at 2 a.m., remembering the time you said Hieronymus Bosch when you meant to say Thelonious Monk. Boom! It's morning. Abruptly, you recall that the former WrestleMania villain and serial golf cheater Donald Trump gets to decide if billions of people live or die. This feeling is sickening and familiar, as though you've had that same abrupt realization before, perhaps hundreds of times a day. For years? Facebook shows you that ad that reads, "Want to stop waking up in a cold sweat?" Mere moments before you think, "I want to stop waking up in a cold sweat." Spooky. Not Andy, just spooky. Then you go down, it says, "You're almost fully convinced that we are all just Sims in a swimming pool, paddling and paddling, while the sadist who has removed the ladder looks on with glee." Whenever you hit play on Star Wars, The Rise of the Skywalker, you are mysteriously transported to the following day, face down on your drool-damp sofa. What the is going on here? So you have crafted an excellent tweet about a topic I'm just going to have my own glitch in the Matrix, right? You've crafted an excellent tweet about a topic that was fresh this morning, but now somehow a year out of date. Well, let me just tell you, that's Twitter for you. There's no glitch there. Hey, where the woke crowd go on Twitter, nobody knows, okay? And they go there from place to place quick. You need to be able to keep up with that. You have crafted, okay, I've already done that. That was really going to be like a deja vu there. Leafing through your melatonin-fueled dream journal at 2 a.m., you see a note that you wrote in 2016. What if Jesse Pinkman was a character in Westworld? Goosebumps emerge on your arms as you realise this has, in a way, come true. Now you're staring at other journal entries from the past. Tennis dogs, vampires in space, murder hornets. Terrified that they may also merge with reality. You find that you're ready to eat another food while still engaged in eating the previous food. Let's look at Instagram now, your brain screams, interrupting your current activity, which was looking at Instagram. It's Wednesday, but tomorrow was also Wednesday. And that there has to be the freakiest, glitchiest story I could find when I was talking about glitches in our Matrix. But it doesn't end there. But I did promise PPP.
How dare you?
Oh, we dare to. Exactly, Jason. Exactly. That's exactly what I went through today when I first read that article. I thought it was hysterical. I thought in some weird way they had satirically wrote this article to be a glitch in the Matrix when it was about glitches in the Matrix. On a day I'm talking about glitch, glitch, glitch. Okay, Cackles is saying that our friend Sam, not sure what's happened, but if we could send out some prayers and love to Sam. Sam is one of us. She's in here all the time. You're all used to seeing Sam in the chat room. So yeah, big shout out to you, Sam. Yeah, there we go. We're all getting our little glitches in the Matrix, especially when it comes online. More and more now, as the narrow, specific AI drills down more and more on our likes, our desires, knowing us better than we know ourselves by looking at our typical shopping habits online. So many data streams coming in to where literally, like it said in that article there, you know, Facebook will show you an ad just before you thought about it. And that might be kind of egging it on a little bit. But that's what it'll eventually, that's what they would like it to be. You know, and in a way, they do know us more than we would be comfortable with, as it is already. Without any overarching, super scary artificial intelligence that you would see in a Hollywood movie, okay? It is what it is, and that's going to be providing glitches along the way, I'm sure. I remember when Google were actually trialing looking at your online calendar, because I schedule my guests online and I use the Google Calendar. It kind of like will insert things into the calendar when it thinks that you have something coming up. It looks at previous data, looks at things, a whole host of things, maybe what you've been searching on Google as well. And I remember it put me in for a meeting over in Istanbul coming up, and I think it was like 6 months ahead of when I'd seen it. And again, that's the AI learning. That's the learning process. And it's getting fine-tuned now. Very fine-tuned, especially when it comes to that sort of stuff. But not the only kind of glitches in the Matrix we've got today, because Reddit turned 15 the other day. Should be a time to celebrate, but after they censored and took away the freedom of speech for a lot of people yesterday, we won't be celebrating it too much, but we will be taking a look at one of the top stories that appeared on Reddit, and it's about, you guessed it, glitches in the Matrix. And this comes from a story that was just out during the last week, but the Reddit post itself is a bit older. But it says one of my favourite glitches is this one, posted by Tempto or Tempto who knows, who apparently lives an entire life in the moments after a head injury. He eventually awakes from this dream when he notices that something is strange about a lamp. People are always asking for it, but because it's a comment rather than a proper post, it's hard to search for. So I'm reposting it here to give the story its proper place in glitch history. So a parallel life awoken by a lamp. So then it says, throwaway account caused, cause this is really personal. So no names. It's what somebody commented on a Glitches in the Matrix thread. So in my last semester at a certain college, I was assaulted by a football player for walking where he was trying to drive. Note that he was 325 pounds and I was 120 pounds. That's a big boy. While unconscious on the ground, I lived a different life. I met a wonderful young lady. She made my heart skip and my face red. I pursued her for months and dispatched a few jerk boyfriends before I finally won her over. After 2 years, we got married, and almost immediately, she bore me a daughter. I had a great job, and my wife didn't have to work outside of the house. And when my daughter was 2, my wife, bore me a son. My son was the joy of my life. I would walk into his room every morning before I left for work, excuse me, and doted on him and my daughter. So one day, while sitting on the couch, I noticed that the perspective of the lamp was odd, like inverted. It was still in 3D, but just wrong. It was a square lamp base, red with gold trim on 4 legs, and a white square shade. I was transfixed. I couldn't look away from it. I stayed up all night staring at it. The next morning, I didn't go to work. Something was just not right about that lamp. I stopped eating. I left the couch only to use the bathroom at first, and soon I stopped that too as I wasn't eating and drinking. I stared at the pesky lamp for 3 days before my wife got really worried. She had someone come and try to talk to me. By this time, my cognizance was breaking up and my wife was freaking up. So she took the kids to her mother's house just before I had my epiphany. The lamp is not real. The house is not real. My wife, my kids, none of this is real. The last 10 years of my life are not real. The lamp started to grow wider and deeper. It was still inverted dimensions and it took up the entire perspective. And all I could see was red. I heard voices, screams, all kind of weird noises, and I became aware of pain. A lot of pain, as it says there, folks. The first words I said were, "I'm missing teeth," and opened my eyes. I was lying on my back on the sidewalk, surrounded by people that I didn't know. Lots were freaking out, and I was completely confused. At some point, a cop scooped me up, walked me across the sidewalk and grass, and threw me face down in the back of a cop car. I was still confused. I was taken to the hospital by the cop. Seems he didn't want to wait for the ambulance to arrive and give me CT scans and stuff. So I went through about 3 years of horrid depression. I was grieving the loss of my wife and my children and dealing with the knowledge that they never existed. I was scared that I was going insane as I would cry myself to sleep hoping I would see her in my dreams. I never have, but sometimes I see my son. Usually just a glimpse out of my peripheral vision. He is perpetually 5 years old, and I can never hear what he says. And it says, edit 24 hours after the post. Never thought anyone would read this. I changed a line so it no longer seems that my 2-year-old daughter bore a child. I have never seen Inception or Star Trek episode so many have mentioned, but I will eventually. I will not do an Ask Me Anything. I've had many PMs describing similar experiences and 3 posters stating that such experiences are impossible. I'd say more research needs to be done on brain functions. Pre-med students don't assume you know everything. A few have asked if they can write a book, screenplay, stage play, rage comic, etc. please consider this tale open source and have fun with it. That there is, wow. Can you imagine that, folks? Any circumstances, you know, maybe you're in a coma, something like that, and you, basically in your mind, you're living a life, and you form relationships, you find somebody you like, you chase them, you pursue them, you court them, you finally get married, you have children, only then for it all to be taken away. And that there has got to be as traumatic as physically going through that. And what is that experience? Is that totally constructed in our mind? Is that our mind's way of just passing the time while it's repairing itself or getting better? Or do we literally, are people that talk about that, are they literally experiencing being other players in other versions of this matrix that keeps on glitching? ZX! Oh, my friend, you are on the same vibe as me. That's what I was going to talk about next, but PPP, I'll be right back. So, there's definitely a glitch type effect going on when we have these people that, unfortunately, for whatever reason, they slip into a coma. And then you have these almost miraculous, magical, unbelievable stories of what happens when they wake up. And one that always gets me is when you hear about these people waking up and all of a sudden they're speaking fluent Spanish, fluent French, Mandarin, you name it. You know, it's just there. That's what they speak. That's their first tongue, only they've never spoke that language in their life before. Now, is that a download from the Akashic Records? I don't know. Is every language just sitting there, waiting for us to tap into it? And this, our little CPU, the thing that plugs into the cosmic superhighway, is that where we're getting it from? Does it get downloaded? Does our brain come with every language inside it? I don't think so. Does it? So where does that come from then? Where did the old language go? Bang, dude. Bang. But I've got a couple of stories here, ZX. You beat me to it. That means you're on the vibe, brother. You're on the vibe. Yep, timelines merging, all that good stuff. You know, I think 100 years from now, they'll look back at the early 21st century as being when we were cutting our teeth at quantum science and whatever may lay inside and beyond it, both at once and not at all. Woo! So then, and yes, cackles, I'll get back to doing some physics soon, don't you worry. We have got this here. And this is about amazing stories of people who wake up after a coma. Ben McMahon, Sandra Ralic, and Michael Boatwright. So, growing up in Australia, Ben McMahon, there's our Australian connection. Oh, we've got French and Mandarin here as well. Learned French and Mandarin, but was never fluent in them. In 2012, he was in a car accident which left him comatose for a week. Doctors said he would be lucky if he survived. He beat the odds and woke up. Oddly, he only spoke Mandarin and couldn't speak English. He could also write in Mandarin. Eventually, Ben regained the ability to speak English but didn't lose the ability to speak Mandarin. As of September 2014, Ben is living in Shanghai, where he attends school, but also gives walking tours of the city. In fact, his Mandarin is so good, it impresses native speakers, and he is the host of a TV show in Shanghai. Ooh, while that almost sounds too wild to believe, it actually happened to other people. 13-year-old Sandra Ralic from Kin in Croatia was studying German and had just started reading German books and watching German television shows, but wasn't fluent in it. Then she was in a coma for 24 hours. When she came out of the coma, she could only speak in German, but couldn't speak in her native tongue. Finally, there's the amazing story of the American Michael Boatwright. He woke up in a hospital bed in California, speaking Swedish and claiming his name was actually Johan Ek. Boatwright had lived in Sweden and had a Swedish girlfriend in the past. While many urban legends discuss people waking up from a coma speaking a brand new language, it is not a medically recognized phenomenon. However, people can lose the ability to speak their primary language while retaining access to a secondary language that they already know to some degree. It's speculated that they seem more fluent in the second language afterwards because they no longer default to the first one. And the reason you see that LANGU highlighted there is because I was literally searching for a story about the coma and the languages when that came up in the chat room. And I hadn't read it at the time, but there's a lot of the stuff we mentioned in there. That's what I add to glitches in the Matrix. What's that all about? Knowing what other people are going to say ahead of time, or I don't know. But that part there is really, really weird. Because part of me was thinking, what if, when you're in that comatose state, perhaps the soul or energy, whatever the biology in the brain is at that time, we uncouple. It kind of floats around. It's not there anymore. It's not quite there anymore. You're in your subconscious, right? Or you're away off. Your mind's elsewhere. Not your brain, but the mind. What if at that time another one can slip in then? Somebody, for instance, by the name of Johan Ek. I didn't mean to open that up. I just meant to like that there. Pretty weird, isn't it? I mean, it's one thing waking up with a new language, but it's another thing when you start waking up like with a backstory of who you are and you literally think you're somebody else. I mean, where on earth's name did that come from? Right? Right? I mean, come on. You got to go with me there. You might think I'm the maddest guy on the planet, but you've got to agree that's kind of some weird glitchy type woo going on. I think so anyway. So I'll let you ponder that. We've got 38 minutes before I go live on the main show and continue the fake alien invasion that we were getting into last night. And oh my word, have I found a lot of stuff to supplement that today. And we'll be opening the phones up towards the end of the show as well. So be sure to join me for that. We ain't done here yet, but I am going to let you have a moment to refresh yourself. And we'll come back. We'll start to wrap it up. And yep, it's getting glitchy around here. Yes, cackles, exactly. A day off, and I start to feel a lot better. Shout out to our Uncle Donny in the chat room. He is hitting the outback. He is away looking for artifacts. Oh, I can't wait to see them, Donny. Just slow down though. Slow down and think. Not making any claims, not telling you to believe anything, but what if you did find out that everything around you wasn't real? Just imagine for 1 second, just 1 second, that the planet that we live on, the solar system, our galaxy, and the entire universe that we think we see as infinite is actually no more than a simulation. What if? I know, people hate it. Some people get triggered when I say, what if? But it's just a question to inspire thought in all of you. What if indeed? I tell you what, the simulation that we are in is absolutely amazing. Look at the colours that you see out in nature. Look all around you. Look at all 7 billion individual people all here having their own individual journey. And at the same time as that, we're all flying on a rock through space at about 40,000 kilometers per hour, chasing a sun, going round it and round it, and round and round. And I tell you what, all your problems you've got, they're very real. All your bills are real. Your relationships, the ups and downs, they're all real. And that's how amazing this simulation is. And when it throws curveballs at you, and it tends to, that's how it kind of, it's like a feedback system, isn't it? It knows when to throw those curveballs. It also somehow, miraculously, divinely knows when you need lifting up as well. You know, maybe you have a bill on the horizon and you've got no idea how you're going to get there, but then something comes along. Something just happens to come along. Well, I don't know about you, but that, to be random and just out of nothing, that's something I struggle with. Now, do I think somebody put all of this in motion? Oh, absolutely. Call it the creator, call it the D-Wave, call it God, call it Krishna, call it Buddha, call it Allah. I don't care what on earth you call it, because we welcome all ideas here. And I don't reject anyone for having different ideas from me, because you know what, in the end of the day, I'll tell you how much I know. Zip zero. And the more stuff and the more information I look at, instead of my knowledge expanding, I become more aware of how little and how less I do know each and every rabbit hole we go down. And that's a quantum effect, isn't it? How on earth's name can you amass so much information and not be able to answer the questions you already had, and then have a bajillion questions more. That when you start to try and look into answers for them, oh, what happens? More questions. And that, my friends, is why we all enjoy the ride, as Bill Hicks once said. And never forget, it's just that. It's a ride. And that's why I try to leave us feeling a little bit cheerier, a little bit happier than some of the shows that we used to do on YouTube where it would be doom and gloom all the time. Now, there's enough weirdness and wackiness and cool stuff going on in the world to keep us going for a lifetime. And then some over here. And there'll still be more questions at the end of it. It just keeps going on and on and on and on, like another glitch in the Matrix. But I'm going to be glitching my way over to tfrlive.com very soon. And I ask you to come and become our own little glitch in the Matrix as we take to the airwaves and we continue my exploration of one of the most talked about conspiracy theories, narratives, storylines, potential last cards that the bad guys might play. Yes, the fake alien invasion, and more namely, Project Bluebeam. But today we're going to build on the back of that. We're going to finish off the actual document, and then we're going to take it further. But then, I can only go so far with it. I realise that. And I'm only one man. And why not crowdsource the woo? Yes, don't crowdsource the truth, we crowdsource the woo. So I'll be opening up the phones for all of you to tune in as well. I'm really, really stoked that you keep coming back to watch, folks. It means the world to me. I get as much of a buzz out of coming to speak to you as some of you come out of getting to listen to me. Did that make sense? Probably a glitch in the Matrix. But on that note, I will love you, leave you, and remember, just ponder it. Just think to yourself, what if? Just what if? Join me 39 minutes from now. Hey, Brian, you're a long-time lurker. We love you. Hey, Marty, too many interruptions and laptop glitches to mention. I've rewound and replayed 2 times speed to catch up. This is interesting, but the glitches here at home and my own ad. Yep, we're all having a glitchy time. You know why? Because it's that pesky Mercury retrograde. That's what it is. It's wreaking havoc with the simulation. It's making pixels. Hey.
420. PPP great lurk, much love chat.
Isn't it really kind of like Brian went to Eton and then Oxford or something? 420. I don't know. I'm looking at the webcam here like you can see me, but now I've realised I'm going to my outro screen, so I'm making faces at myself. I'm out of here, folks. You know when I start to glitch like that, time for me to take my leave. And like I say, tfrlive.com/chat. If you're on the Discord, I'll be in the general chat. You'll find us in the TFR room in there. The paranormal app that you can search for on your phones. Comet Man, he was telling me today, you got a very good stream on there. I'd love to see you over in the TFR chat room. Let's absolutely blast the records of the number of Wookiees in the chat today. Let's do it, folks. I'm going to love you, I'm going to leave you, but it wouldn't be the same without this girl.
How dare you?
At least one of this guy.
Excuse me, it's ma'am.
And you know what's coming next. Keep your mind open. Keep looking for the woo, but not to the point where your brain turns to black goo. Remember to get your emojis into me. Give me the name you want to be seen with your emoji. And eventually we're going to have a full rogues gallery. The usual suspects. Yes, indeed. You can hit me up on Facebook. You can get me on Discord. You can get me on the email. And you can find me here every day. Talk to you all soon.